Hello and welcome to my channel. This is Season 2, Episode 4. First thing as always, thank you to those of you that have subscribed to my channel. If you are new, names will go up over here. And thank you to those of you that have been following and supporting me on the forum. Recognition goes up over here. Now, let me find it first before we start. I've got it around here somewhere, so bear with me. Where is it? Ah, here it is. Here they are. Put them together. You have a sidearm. And that's what we're going to be talking about today in this video. So, lock and load. Okay, so before we start, I want to thank my recent follower, D-Ray, for bringing up this question. Do you need a sidearm? And this is actually a great question. And he recently put this on the forum, and in the last few days, it has become very popular, obviously hearing from everyone's opinions and experiences. And I kindly asked him if I could use it for this video today. And he agreed to that, and thank you. So, what's going to happen is, I'm going to cover a few little topics, okay, for the beginner. Okay, if you're considering getting a sidearm. Now, bear with me 1 second. To my left, which is your right, I have my pistol case right here. A little heavy at the moment. Now, what's in here are my pistol riffs that I've collected over the last couple of years. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use these for examples and, again, see what you think. So, let's get into it. Okay, so here are a few things to consider before we go into my pistol case. Firstly, for beginners, get an AEG, play a few games, and then make the decision if you want to have a pistol in your collection. If you get a gun bag for your AEG, it's big enough, you can put the pistol in there as well. Easy enough, safe space. However, if you've been playing for a while, you may consider buying a few pistols. So I can highly recommend this pistol case. I bought this off Amazon. I can't remember the price. I mentioned it, I think, in one of my unboxing videos. I think it was number 2 with the Colt Python. If you haven't seen that, check it out. Now, I've set this up quickly, so I'm going to do a quick review and then we'll get into the pistols. So as you can see here, there are gaps. So if you've got any molly strapping, you can put whatever you want to in here. This is an example, a mag pouch. It does move around a bit, you can adjust it. Honestly, I won't use it unless I have to. Again, it's preference at the end of the day. So I'm going to take it off. Put it to the side over there. Now, it's got a bit of Velcro, so you can put a Velcro patch on. This is the Firefly patch. Now, there are 3 compartments. Just move one here. I do apologise for the lighting. One here. So in this first one, I keep some documents, tools, like there, some tape for anything in the field. And this one, this is where you keep your magazines. Okay, so I've got a few examples. I've got a speed loader in here. Put that to the side. You've got a M1911 mag. You can fit a standard Glock mag. You can fit any mags in here really. And at the very bottom, an extended Glock mag. There are 5 spaces for mags, obviously at the bottom and extended. Let's close that up. Now, the main compartment. Again, I do apologise for the lighting. Now, it does recommend just 2 pistols, so as you can see, I'm fitting 3 in here. Now, in the middle, I'm going to take this out. We've got my favourite one at the moment, a Glock. Now, in the middle, you can put whatever you want. You can put some more mags in. Again, it's preference. These 2 main areas were for the pistols. So we've got my M1911 and my revolver. Just put this all over here, balancing act. So yeah, I can highly recommend this. It's not too expensive. This will do the job. And honestly, if you're going to run pistols for the day, I highly recommend take an AEG or whatever you're planning to go with, because gas guns, well, hopefully they'll be working on the day. If not, it's always good to have a backup, so don't just always rely on pistols. Other than that, let's move on to the next part. Now, you can see there are 3 sidearms in front of you, ready to go. I am wearing my goggles for safety purposes. Always handle your riffs responsibly. So from left to right, this is the order that I bought them in. As you can see, the lighting is better on this side than it is this side. I do apologise for that. The lighting's not the best. I did try to adjust it. Sadly though, that didn't work, so don't hold that against me and enjoy the video for what it is. Now, as a beginner, rent. Once you've got your car, then you can get all the good stuff. Get an AEG first, then you can consider a sidearm. Now, straight away with a sidearm, okay, is the answer yes or no? That is up to you. Honestly, having a sidearm, it's cool, but hopefully they are reliable. You want those two things there straight away, reliability and cool. Now, obviously, for certain purposes, whatever you get, okay, consider this before you even think about sidearm, okay? When you start off, go to your field, whichever one that is, your local one, okay? Ask your regular players, okay? And you'll know who the regular players are, those that turn up with all their gear. Now, 9 times out of 10, they will be approachable and friendly, 9 times out of 10. So if you have a question, obviously approach up to that player and, for example, say, oh, I like that revolver. What make is that? And naturally they'll go, oh, this? 9 times out of 10. They'll go, oh, this is my revolver. This is a King Arms green gas version. It shoots like a, I don't know, laser beam. I'm just giving you an example here. And they will go off answering all your questions, whatever you ask, because we like to show off our collection, and then you'll get a whole lot of answers, experience, and opinions, and that's very important. So 2 ways to get some information is simple. Ask your regular players, they'll give you their answers, and go on YouTube, they will give you their answers. Now, a few things to cover, okay? Every pistol will be unique, okay? From good to bad, depending on what you get. So there's a lot of brands out there, there's a lot of models out there. Consider what you're going to get, okay? Because the last thing you want to do is buy something, and we've all done this, we've all bought that one particular pistol sidearm that we thought was going to be great, it was going to last, it was going to endure, and then obviously a couple months, you either don't like it, you lose it, or you just want to get rid of it, okay? And this has happened to a lot of us regular players. So, quite interesting, from here, I've got my M1911, I've got my Glock 18C, and I've got my King Arms Python. Now, a few things that you have to consider, okay? This is where it comes down to preference, alright? Now, what do you want to go with, okay? Do you want to go with something unique, like a revolver, not often seen on the field, depending on where you are? Do you want to go for something popular, like the Glocks? Or do you want to go for something that's surplus, old school? Okay, it's your choice. Preference. Again, things to consider. Just move these down a little bit so you can see them a bit better. I'll try and get them in the lighting. So for this example, do you really want to go for the 6-inch version? Or do you want to go for the 4-inch version? Again, preference. So size, okay. This Glock is slightly shorter than the M1911. So again, sizing. Next thing, weight. Do you want to go with full metal, fake wood, real wood? Do you want to go with polymer and metal? Or do you want to go with full metal? Again, things to consider. Now, you can use green gas. These are all green gas. I particularly use red gas, so there's variants of gas. Again, do your research. I tend to use red gas for all these now. And each gas will have a certain factor when you use it, so just bear that in mind, do your research. CO2, again, I don't have any CO2, so I can't comment on it. Some of my friends do have CO2, and they've given me some positive results, but both sides have pros and cons, so again, do your research, okay? Now, the next thing I want to go into, parts, the second thing to consider, okay? So you may want to go with a pistol or a revolver, again, it's preference, okay? Don't get a grenade launcher, play for a lot longer, then decide if you want that, very expensive. So you may want to consider buying online, which is the most sensible thing to do. Compare prices, you want a good deal, so go to reliable sites. Again, if you're not sure, I highly recommend you go onto the forum, ask about a site, and people will get back to you saying, yeah, it's a good site, or no, avoid it at all costs. Now, again, I want to cover a few things with this part. So, for example, we'll start off with the M1911, my first pistol, my first riff. Now, this is a classic armament. I'm going to be honest, it did its job when it first started off, but then I ran into a few issues along the way. I did have quite a few magazines for this, and then I found out they were dodgy, so I got rid of them. So magazines are not the best. This is a double stack magazine. You can see it's very slim. It's not the best. In fact, I have trouble keeping gas in here because it vents out. You can hear it, you can see it. So trying to cycle this weapon, so I put it in, there's no gas. So every time I fire and everything, sometimes I wouldn't be able to clear it properly or get through a full loaded magazine. So this was a really big letdown. And like all things, sometimes you can support your local airsoft shop, but then after a while, sometimes you see through it and think, oh, you took me for a fool. You took my money. So these are things to consider. Okay, now I'm going to put that down. In fact, actually, I'm going to keep the mag out for this next part. Now, this is my most reliable pistol so far. This is a WE Glock 18C. You've got single, you've got full auto, and check out the mag. This is a standard mag. It came with the pistol. Now, you can see the difference, hopefully. I do apologise if the lighting doesn't get it that well. So this one had issues holding the gas. This does not have an issue whatsoever. I can clear this mag every time until there is a problem. So this is definitely a lot more reliable than this version. If you want one of these, get a Tokyo Marui WE or anything else. Varies, but Tokyo Marui and WE, highly recommend. WE, all the way. So I'm going to put, in fact, I'm going to leave that there for now. I'm going to put this back. So, again, like so. And there is gas in that. Like I said, retains gas. Now, I haven't been airsofting since last year, and look at that already. Now, before I carry on, I'm going to put this down to the side. Hopefully you can see this. This is the extended mag. Standard mag. As you can see, double the size, hopefully. Now, you may think, oh yeah, I want the extended mag. Now, you can get these for other pistols, don't get me wrong, depending on the make and everything. So, when it comes to, I'm going to move this out of the way. When it comes to pistols, you may want to consider magazines. 2, 3, 4, again, preference. You may want to consider a tactical light, depending on if you're going to a CQB site. You might want to consider a tracer, a suppressor, again, or a sight on top, a red dot sight. These are all things you have to consider, okay? Doesn't mean you need them all, okay? Sometimes you just want something standard like this. Now, when it comes to an extended mag, which I'm about to show you, hopefully I can get that into focus. So, let's see if it's still, see already. Sorry, I had my thumb on the release. Ah, see. So, this one hasn't got any gas in it. The main issue I have with extended mags, now again, this will vary with other people's opinion, and experience. Now, this one actually manages to get halfway, sorry about that, halfway, and then stops. So I don't know if it's actually the spring or there's a problem with the magazine in general. So with extended mags, they can be cool, but like I said before, you need them to be reliable. So if you have any issues with your extended mags, get someone to sort them out. Like I said, a technician or a friend. If not, I highly recommend these things. Easy enough and will work every time. Right, moving on to the revolver. Okay. Now, when it comes to a revolver, most people don't tend to customize them unless they do a paint job or something. You very rarely see suppressors. Not to say that you can't get them on. Tactical lights, not so much. So, when it comes to revolvers, this is the 6-inch version. This is my King Arms. This is bulky and heavy. So, trying to move around with this, you need, firstly, a good holster. Doesn't matter which type of holster, but something that will support you with this. Because trust me, running around with this, the last thing you want to do, or should I say to do, is have this thing flying around on your belt or getting in any way whatsoever. So that's a good thing, holster to consider. Next thing, I'm going to try and get this out. King Arm shells. Whatever revolver you get those shells, because some may be compatible. Same thing with pistol mags, they may be compatible with other brands. Not always the case, so make sure you get the right brand, because if you don't, obviously you have to get a refund and money back, and you wasted your time. So you may want to also consider how many shells you get. Now, shells you think, oh, they're easy to get. Not always the case, and they can be expensive, okay? So just bear that in mind for a revolver. More shells. Try and close it, there we go. You may also need to get more of these. These are speed loaders for the revolver. And you may also want to consider getting revolver pouches for these, or ammo pouches. And the interesting thing when it comes to, I'm going to put this over here actually, when it comes to the revolver, take the safety off, you can cock it like a single action, or just regular double action. Again, things to consider for your revolver. Now all these parts will add up, so you will need money, and you need to consider how many mags you want to get, how you secure it. But there is another option as well when it comes to parts. Externally, you can change things. So color, frames, for example, I could take this off and replace it with a black version, or I could do a paint camo job on here. Or, for example, here, I want to change the inner barrel, so I'll take the inner barrel out, replace it with a type bore of some description. Again, I'm not being technical with this particular one. I might have said something completely wrong, but along the lines, you want a better barrel, you might want a better trigger response. So all these things have to be considered, and that's it, really, for parts. So let's move on to the third and final stage. The third and final part, simple enough, payment. You've got to pay for these things in Airsoft. Now, prices will vary in the world and whichever country you're in with the currency. So bear in mind, okay, these will all be different prices and these will all be bought in different places. Now, you get what you pay for, but like all things, do you really want to pay extra for something when you could have bought it for like half the price? Do you want to buy in your shop, your site, depending on if it's safe, or online? Now, if you go online, you'll find that prices vary a lot, so compare them. Same for the sites and the shops, compare them, because at the end of the day, if you can save some money, that's great. So if you've got the money, great. If not, you're going to have to stick to that budget and save up. And if you can save some pounds, or whatever currency you're using, that's going to be great, because then you can buy anything externally, internally, attachments, extra magazines, or any other gear that you're using for your airsoft, from BDUs to cameras, again, whatever you plan to use in airsoft, really. I highly recommend to beginners, okay? Again, this is my own experience and opinion. Stick away for now from the revolver unless you've got your eyes set on one. Simple reason is, can come down to internals as well as capacity. You've got to make sure every shot counts as much as possible. The most popular choice by far at the moment is the Glock, and put that down. One mag should be sufficient for a beginner, okay, unless you go crazy shooting. And honestly, one mag will be good enough for a beginner. I highly recommend though, these are a lot of fun, I'm not gonna lie. When the opportunity presents itself in the field, and that goes for CQB or woodland, okay, these can be used in both. If you have the opportunity to use one of these, it's a lot of fun when it works, okay? Hopefully it will be working. We had that moment where we're too slow on the draw, we get picked off, or you go into John Wick mode and you're like, wow, I've just taken out 5-6 people. I highly recommend to beginners, watch your control of fire with these things, okay? Again, these do not have the range of other riffs, okay, depending, again, internally or whatnot. So if you see one enemy player, there's no point trying to put 5-6 rounds in them, okay? It's a waste of ammo, because believe it or not, you may get under, I think the maximum is 25 BBs. Again, all mags will vary, and like all things, 25 you think sounds like a lot, but when you go a little bit too crazy with a pistol, you realise, oh wow, I'm actually down to 5 BBs left. So be sensible when it comes to pistols, okay? If you've got an opportunity to get the jump on someone, use it, it's a lot of fun. Again, I'd say if you're close to people, one double tap is fine. There's no point trying to put 3, 4, 5 rounds and miss completely. Again, you've got a limited amount of BBs that you can use, so beginners, be sensible with your choice when it presents itself. When you get a little bit more better, or decide, you know what, I want to stick with a sidearm more, you're going to use these more predominantly in a CQB environment, so you might want more mags, which is probably going to be the most essential thing. You can get flashlights, like I said before, you can get all the things you want. But other than that, that's it for me really. So hopefully you've enjoyed this video. So quickly before I finish this video, two things. One, I forgot to mention this when it comes to a woodland site. Whether you're playing as a DMR or sniper role, get yourself one of these with some extra mags. It will come in handy, especially when people get close to you, because if people shoot you, the most important thing you do is you call your hit. Very important when it comes to airsoft. And the second thing is, I do apologise if I have missed anything in this video. I tried to cover what I could for the beginner. If you have spotted anything that I have missed out, it wasn't intentional, please put your answers in the comments down below. Look forward to seeing your answers. And that's it for this video. So like, comment, share and subscribe. Don't forget to click the little bell icon so you know when the next video is. I enjoyed making this video. I look forward to making the next video. The most important thing you can do is stay safe.